Hi everyone, welcome to Hopcast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
Special guest.
Beer Wench!
Everyone knows Beer Wench, right? Just follow the white head, right?
Just follow the white head. That's what she said.
Yeah, I don't know if that worked, but
No.
Beer Wench, thanks for coming from the San Francisco area and joining us on the Hopcast.
Yeah, thanks for hosting me. This is my first, so New Brew Thursday, this is my first video podcast that I actually have been on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think was that a little jab?
Just letting them know that maybe...
Or was that more of the pity party?
We're okay with it.
So we've got in your honor a great Chicago blonde ale. So this is something that we kind of wanted to feature. This is from Half Acre. Recently just got their canning line in. So
As you can tell, 16-ounce tall boys.
craft beer in a can. So add another one to the list.
Nice. And then we got from Cigar City, part of their Humidor series, their IPA ale. They sent up some beers, so
Cheers to you guys. Shout out to Cigar City.
Yeah, I used to live in Tampa, so
You can tell us a lot about
familiar.
this.
Yeah, I'll talk about it later.
Cool.
But Half Acre, I got the chance to go to a couple days ago. It was awesome.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
guys up there are very cool, doing some good stuff.
And they're adorable.
Oh, add another one to your
I have a little bit of Twitter crush. Gabriel. Oh, wait.
You're not the type to crush.
I don't have a crush on everybody in the industry.
Okay.
I'm over you, though.
That's good.
Alright, so that poured out pretty cloudy.
Yeah, a bit
Yellow,
cloudy,
yeah.
not too clear.
It's very yellow.
Very yellow.
Not as blonde as me.
Yeah, it's not. So it didn't quite reach that, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just kind of like trying to measure everything in the beer against you at this point.
Now, for me, this is really interesting to look at the color because I wonder what specific malt they used for it to get this yellow color. So,
As if you're thinking maybe they put some wheat in there. Or-
yeah.
Well, it was a nice hoppy aroma.
Yeah, the grains come through as well, pretty nicely in the aroma.
I'm going for it.
It's just, especially on a day like this, great drinkable. Yeah. It's got a nice fruity character to it.
It's very clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Finish is really, really dry and crisp. Pretty well attenuated. It's nice. I like it.
Like it?
Now, this is a beer you just get off your bike and pop one open and cool
Yeah.
down.
Well,
You can
yeah.
even throw it in the little bottle
yeah.
holder.
That's the coolest part about canned beers right now is I remember when I was in Columbus, Ohio, we used to have this thing called Monday Night Ride, where at 10 o'clock we'd all meet at the Ohio State campus, and it was like commuter bikers, not like cyclists, you know, so they were just fucking around, and we'd fill up, sorry if I can't use that word, but so we'd fill up our backpacks with beer, and it's really, really hard when you fill up your backpack with bottles of beer because it's heavy as hell. By the end of the trip, it's cool, but like craft canned beer would have been awesome to be able to bike around with and carry around.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of cool stuff up at Half Acre, so we're excited to see. This is the first one that went into the cans.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think Daisy Cutter's next.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know what's from there.
I don't even know if they know, so
Yeah.
we'll be here to find out.
It does have a nice hop bitterness to it, though.
Nice and delicate. But
Yeah.
it's great.
It's definitely Americanized.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, this is certainly not going to take much, but we'll finish these up and we'll come back and do some IPA.
I think I could finish off an entire 4-pack myself.
I'm going to sit up on your deck all day and
Just drink Gossamer?
Drink Gossamer, yeah.
What kind of food would you pair with it? It's always
Um,
one of my favorite things.
Maybe it's just because I have pizza on the mind, but I'm heading over to Peace and grabbing the pizza and coming back and doing that all day.
Awesome.
I think that would work.
Yeah.
But we don't have any more of that right now. But we got
You got quite a beauty. Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
familiar with this one. This one was Cigar City out in Tampa, and you spent some time, so why don't you give us the spiel?
I've been all over the country. Last year, this time, I lived in Tampa, Florida. Interesting, I was living with people that I met from Twitter. So social media comes together. Pretty much the reason why I exist is to be on Twitter.
Wow.
So when I was living in Tampa, I was working at a wine bar, and we had all craft beers on the menu. And I was introduced to the Highlight IPA, which is the IPA that goes into Cedar to make the Humidor series. And Highlight, if you're not familiar with Tampa, it has a huge Cuban influence, and Highlight is kind of like lacrosse on crack, pretty much. It's a very it's a very dangerous game, but pretty much you have sticks like pretty much attached to your arm, and it's a really fast game. But so they called it Highlight, and most people can't pronounce it because it's Jaila or LAI. So
Give me
it looks
a
like
J-Lee.
weird, but yeah, J-Lee. So
Yeah, we were just drinking some of those beforehand, so maybe it works out. We got to try that before the Cedar.
yeah. So my first experience actually was when I was living in Orlando when Cigar City first started, and the first beer they released was the Highlight IPA. And one of the best bars in the whole entire country is Red Light, and it's in Orlando. I mean, they've been rated on Rate Beer, and Beer Advocate is one of the top destinations in the country. And we weren't supposed to be able to get it, but we got it in Orlando. So this beer is really interesting. It has obviously Cigar City, Cuban influence, and tons. I mean, cigars are a big deal. Like, you have a bar, a cigar store, like just walking down throughout downtown Tampa, which is really cool because I love cigars as well.
All right, so we're missing our cigars.
Yeah, I know. We're totally missing our cigars.
Cigar lovers. So.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Oh, this beer would be awesome with a nice Humidor because that's my favorite ever. But yeah. So it's a IPA. It's our Highlight IPA, and it's unfiltered, bottle conditioned. And the cool part about it is aged in cedar.
So are these like, how's this working? Are there cedar planks they're just throwing into the fermenters?
Are they barrels or?
Yeah, it's like cedar planks in the fermenters. Yeah. So, one of the coolest things I ever did with this particular beer was cedar plank salmon. Cedar plank salmon with this beer is awesome. So I fell in love with this particular beer so much when I moved across country from Tampa. I took a case of it with me and I dropped it off at like all these beer bloggers, and I didn't even think about like the fact that I should keep it for myself because like and so I ended up moving to Northern California and I had like 2 bottles left, and so yeah, it's one of my favorite beers ever, and it just won the gold medal for the wood and barrel aged category at GABF. So
You talked it up so much.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
thirsty. Let's do this.
it's cool. The way you see it, it pours a really awesome orange color.
Cool. Yeah, so you were right about that. It poured out pretty cloudy.
Yeah.
Nice head, the hops. Tell it
Holding up.
kind of
It's a nice marigold color.
But probably as we're
Well, yeah,
talking
you can
about,
see it
one
was
of the
bottle
most remarkable
conditioned.
thing is the aroma on this beer is just
Right,
insane.
It is out of
Cedar's
this world.
coming out, and then the hops,
Yeah.
and it's smelling like
Yeah.
weed. It's just the wood and hop coming together. It's
I don't know what marijuana smells like.
I get a super
I don't
grape,
live in Berkeley.
Like a grapefruit is popping out at me, and it's just like such a cool idea,
Oh yeah.
like aging with the cedar.
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
I mean,
it's
I
like
could
popping your nose
understand.
into a humidor. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
No, exactly. And I could totally understand why this beer stood out so much during GABF to all the judges, because I've never smelled anything like this,
Yeah.
From like
Extremely unique.
oak aged beers. Yeah.
I'm sure the brewery smells fantastic.
Yeah.
So cheers. Let's
Yeah.
without
Cheers.
further ado.
Yeah. You can definitely tell this this beer was bottle conditioned. The bubbles are very, very tiny, super cloudy.
Oh,
It's just clean.
It's super dry.
it's dry and stingy
Really?
with hops, and like that just that cedar just kind of warms it, rounds it out. It's really nice.
It's got a real nice pininess to it. A little bit of resin.
It is very piney.
I think it's the hops and the cedar just, for whatever reason, complement each other so well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you think about a lot of Pacific Northwest hops and everything with the pine and the resin, and that's kind of what cedar is, So it does go very, very well. Well, and the one thing that I really like about this beer too is the drinkability of it, because it's lower in alcohol. It's just a regular
Right,
IPA,
do we know
so
when
it's
it
not
comes-
intense in your face. So the cedar and the hops themselves are pretty much the most dominant character that I get out of it. You don't get a lot of the viscosity that you find in today's super, super high alcohol you know, double IPAs or pure IPAs, and
It's
you know,
got like a
lot
medium
of,
body on it.
So yeah, it's definitely, you know, yeah, a lot lighter. So I like it. I love it. So I was telling these boys, this beer really excites me. So when
Really?
Yeah, it really excites me. So when I saw it today, I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite beers. And I specifically, I told you guys before, I traveled across country with it because I was so obsessed with it. At the time, it was not distributed outside of Tampa. And then when they won at the Great American Beer Festival, I made it a point to run up to Joey and Wade and just like rave and rave and rave. And I was like, I knew it when I found this beer, that it was meant for greatness. And I'm sorry that most of you can't get it, because you can't.
Yeah, we can't even get it.
Yeah.
They were nice enough to send us some to review on the show.
Yeah, so a big thanks to Cigar City for sending it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the inside tips on Cigar City in
so,
general.
You know, if you go down to Tampa, visit a Redner strip club, and
Well, I might not be doing that, but I'll be going to the brewery.
Cigar City.
Because the Cubano one. That.
Yeah, we did get to try a little bit of the other Cigar City stuff.
Over at the Foothills pre-sex party. They were there pouring stuff.
Yeah.
Because they stole the brewers from.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
did.
Well,
And,
yeah.
So everything over there that I've tasted has just been.
No, they're really cool. And when they first started out, they used to do specialty releases in the city of Tampa. So they would take, you know, their brown ale and put it in like, well, add like Madagascar vanilla to it and put it in like an oak barrel. And they would have just like one-off releases of just one keg, you know, or maybe a couple of kegs. And they would have like all these events throughout the city.
Then?
Yeah, well, it wasn't even growlers. It was just like an event, you know, they would host it like the Mellow Mushroom or something, just on draft. Because for a long time they didn't bottle. And so that was the coolest part about living in Tampa, is I got to have it before they bottled it, and then they finally started bottling it. And when they did, that's when I moved, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, unfortunately. But yeah.
Fine.
I know. Well, no, and one of their other favorite beers of mine is their Guava Saison.
Oh, wow.
Because it tastes like it's a sour. It might have a little bit of lacto in it, but at the same time, like the sourness from the guava. Just really unique things, you know. Obviously, they're really trying to embrace Florida and what they have in Florida and the culture of the, you know, like the Cuban background within the whole entire city. And so,
Yeah, certainly an interesting brewery that's very up and coming and making quite a name for themselves. So something to watch out for.
it's definitely something to watch out for.
So thanks for coming on, Ashley. Thanks again to
Thanks for
Cigar City
hosting me.
for sending the beer. And
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
for
to you
watching.
for
thank
watching.
you.